Paul, your team left it late, but you got there in the end with the equaliser. Good point?
I think it is when we're playing a team in the playoffs. I know they've slipped out now, but you could see the quality towards the end of the game. But for large parts, I thought we were more than in the game and competed well. First off, I thought we perhaps shaded it and had the best chance with Aidan. Marco made one good save earlier on in the half, but second half we actually started the better on the front foot, forced quite a few corners. And then gave away a disappointing goal on our part. You know, it's movement that we highlighted. They got in behind us, and although we delayed the goal, they got themselves in front. And then I think you can see their confidence grow a little. But we, credit to the players, the young gone in there, and eventually we've, got the rewards. I think that their efforts deserved with an unusual goal, so shall we say. But we know that he's got that quality in him in Jack Price.
Yeah, it's some story, isn't it? Second game, playing for his hometown club, and he produces a volley like that to get a big point.
Yeah, a nice moment for him because he's obviously played higher and then, in a different country, different levels. But you can see what it means to him. And as I said, just the right type of character. I think the lads are pleased for the club and themselves, but I think they're also really pleased for Jack that he's managed to get that goal and ultimately earned as a point.
He came on as part of a triple change. Were you happy how it all played out in terms of all three players coming up?
Yeah, I think they all had the moments. As always, you always look and think there's other things that you want them to do that they're not. I went back to needing my remote control today. It's so hard when you work on things, you walk through things, and then players aren't quite taking it on board. They're not doing it because on purpose, but it's still in the flow of the game, and it's a lot easier sat at the side or stood at the side. But you just wait for them to, we want them to really grasp it, which will save some of the running that they have to do, because in the end, it was a big effort, and you could tell there were some tired legs out there.
What about the defensive performance, especially late on when Oxford were pushing, trying to get all 3 points themselves?
Yeah, I think they started to show all of a sudden the quality that they've got, in them attacking positions in particular, and play probably a little bit different. There were a couple of really big blocks. Marco made a really big save for us just after we'd equalised. So that I thought overall he made some good saves, but there were two, real quality saves, and some good defending and some, like bodies on the line, stuff which we needed. And I think the crowd got involved. They played their part, and at the end, it is a draw, but it did almost feel like a win in terms of the atmosphere around the stadium, and it could prove a really vital point, especially when you look at the other results, and a lot of them haven't gone our way, but at the same time I'm sure they've looked at ours and would have probably hoped that Oxford would have took all 3 points today.
Yeah, 6 points to gap now, isn't it? Your thoughts on that, Paul?
Twitchy bum time, isn't it? But that's for everyone. It's not just us. The best thing for me is we still take care of our business and we'll be okay. We know there's some tough games coming up, but I think the stage of the season, and today's a prime example. There'll be a lot of coupon busters in terms of results. Things don't go the obvious way, and we'll be looking to try and, I guess, have another couple of those results go in our favour.
What happens now then between now and Monday? It's a quick turnaround, isn't it, before you head down to Bristol Rovers? More training for the players over the weekend?
Yeah, there is. Obviously it won't mean in terms of running them into the ground, more in to prepare properly and have the massages and ice baths and whatever else it is that gets them right, because we've got to go again on Monday, and we can make some changes, but we can't make wholesale changes. But I have spoke just then to them about the importance of substitutions making an impact. I think they did that today. They did that in terms of the goal, albeit I think we all saw the start midweek. That's the first time we've had a goal from a substitute. But just the general energy they brought at times, I think helped, and we'll need that again on Monday. I'm convinced, just said, whatever team starts, I'm pretty certain it won't be the one that finishes. So those lads have to be ready that maybe don't get the nod to start the game.
Would you expect Tom Bayliss to be available for selection again?
I'm really not sure. I think Tom's had a slightly different illness than certainly than say Tom Flanagan, who was ill. Taylor Perry, thought he put in a real shift. He hadn't trained all week until yesterday. He actually was out there longer than I thought. Just at the end, could just see him wilting, but I think you can do that even when you're fully fit. So we'll see, is the honest answer, but I'm not really sure.
And just finally, what sort of challenge are Bristol Rovers going to represent on Monday?
Well, I think they've got beat today, haven't they? So they'll be disappointed with that result and be looking to put it right, especially when it's such a quick turnaround in front of their own crowd. Perhaps not quite as far up the table as perhaps they would like and maybe expect to be. But I keep saying it, there's some real quality players in the lineups and players that have certainly played higher up the leagues. So we'll be wary of kind of a little bit of a backlash, but at the same time we've got to try and go there and make it uncomfortable for them.